Even an urban naturalist needs a rural escape every now and then. Today, we're at Lake Metroparks Girdled Road Reservation, a rustic, natural place that's only 40 minutes from downtown Cleveland. At the heart of Girdled Road Reservation is the Big Creek Valley, which we're going to explore very soon. The reservation itself was named for the fact that early European colonizers to this area girdled or cut slits around the bark of trees to build a road that would connect the Pennsylvania line to the new city of Cleveland back in the early 1800s. Girdling a tree is an easier way to begin making space to clear a new road, as it slowly kills the tree and makes them easier to cut down later on. But not to worry, this park is filled today with very healthy trees. Before we head on down into the core of the park, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to my channel so you never miss your dose of nature in the city. Let's do it! We're starting from the Skok Meadow trailhead, one of the many great places you can use to get into the park. We're starting off in a nice gentle meadow with birds singing, but pretty soon we're going to have a dramatic drop down into the Big Creek Valley. The other day I was here with a friend, and he described the landscape as kind of like being out in the Appalachian Mountains, such as being in upstate New York or parts of Pennsylvania. I had to correct him on one thing though. We're not like being in the Appalachians. We are in the Appalachian region. The Appalachian foothills extend well into northeast Ohio, and Girdled Road Reservation is a small piece of that beautiful and majestic landscape that we often associate with being in other places. All right, we're finished walking through this nice gentle meadow, and watch what happens as we go into the woods and drop down, down, down into the Big Creek Valley. Here we go. Well, I guess it's time to cross this bridge over the creek. I sure hope it's sturdy. We're about to cross Big Creek, which is a tributary to the Ashtabula River. And it's really amazing how clear the water flows as it descends down the Portage Escarpment towards the lake plain over beds of natural shale bedrock. And you'll notice there's lots of tributaries, spring-fed with waterfalls that tumble their way down into this beautiful valley. Well, I'm gonna give it a go. Here goes nothing. Well, we made it across that bridge. Whew. The evergreen trees that you see lining the banks of Big Creek kind of look like Christmas trees, and they're close relatives of pines and spruces. They're called eastern hemlocks. They're quite abundant in the forest of northern Canada, where they grow just about anywhere. But in northeast Ohio, they're most often constricted to these cool and damp spring-fed river valleys. Hemlocks are considered a living relic of the last ice age. As the climate warmed, most hemlocks retreated northward, but the ones down here still remain and give an ambience of being in Canada. Well, are we in Canada? I don't know. Let me look at that map again. Oops. I just tore the map. The presence of hemlocks helps moderate stream temperature by keeping everything cooler. And with a colder water temperature, that means more fish, less problems with algae blooms, and even some birds that would normally go upwards to Canada to nest will actually spend the spring and summers nesting here in these cool hemlock valleys and ravines. You'll even notice that some hemlocks have tiny little pine cones. Again, they're very close relatives of pines and spruces that a lot more people are familiar with. We're following the oak tree loop onto the Chickadee Trail. And as we do, we'll walk along and up the valley walls of Big Creek. It's so peaceful here, rustic. It's hard to remember that we're just 40 minutes from downtown Cleveland and all the hustle and bustle of the city. Along the way, we're going to see lots more spring-fed tributaries, wildflowers, birds, and the peacefulness of the Big Creek Valley here in Lake Metroparks. All right, we're going to be heading up the Chickadee Trail over to the Big Creek Overlook. We've got a big climb up with some switchbacks. Here we go. We made it to the top. We're now at the Big Creek Overlook, overlooking the valley that we just came up from. All we can see off in the distance is nothing but trees. We truly are in the heart of the Appalachian region of Ohio, and we can really admire that rugged scenery from this beautiful vantage point at the northern end of Girdled Road Reservation in Lake Metroparks. And the air just feels fresh But it doesn't just feel fresh, it is fresh. And I'll show you something that tells us that indeed the air quality around here is really, really good. Do you see this stuff growing on the trees? Do you know what that is? It's called lichen, and it's a living organism. Do you know what lichens are made of? They're made of at least 3 different things. Let me know your guesses in the comments below, and later on, I'll reply with an answer. The lichen that we're seeing on this tree is called green shield lichen, and it only grows in places that have good air quality. That way we know the air not only feels fresh here, but actually is. In much of Ohio, especially during the industrial era of the 20th century, a lot of green shield lichen disappeared, but with improvements in air quality, a lot of it has come back, and it covers the trees year-round with a lush green, leafy-like pattern that really adds to the splendor, the beauty, and the quality of the forests around Northeast Ohio. There is way more to explore than just that overlook. We're going to take a nice flat trail over to a wetland area. Let's check it out. Not far from the Big Creek Overlook are some wetlands where you can view frogs and turtles and kingfishers and all kinds of birds. These wetlands weren't originally here, they were recreated, although they look very natural. As the city of Cleveland's suburbs expanded into the countryside, many wetlands were destroyed, and to compensate, new ones had to be created. On top of the valley walls of Big Creek ended up being a perfect spot to build these wetlands, where the water table is high and the landscape is flat. And when the Park District created these wonderful wet wonderlands, they did so with nature in mind, and it looks incredibly natural and beautiful. That was such a nice rural escape from city life. But I guess it's time now to head back into the inner city parts of Cleveland. Have you been to Girdled Road Reservation before? Do you have any fond memories to share or things that you saw? What are some of your rural escapes that are nearby to Cleveland or your hometown? Let me know in the comments below. We are so lucky to have such great rustic places like Girdled Road Reservation so close to home, and there's so many other rustic places like this across the Cleveland area. I hope you enjoyed this journey down into this rustic park today. And coming from Lake Metroparks Girdled Road Reservation, my name is Alex, and I'm your CLE Urban Naturalist.